Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us for 3 Questions in a Crisis. Thank you so much for taking time to share.
Sure, anytime.
Yeah. So, will you just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your nonprofit?
Okay, I am Caroline McDowell, and I am the Marketing and Communications Manager with the North Carolina Center for Nonprofits. And we are a statewide organization, and we have nonprofit members who are 501c3 nonprofits from all across the state, from various, they do everything from food banks to medical clinics to you name it, they cover it. And we try and support them with different trainings and capacity building resources. So they get, the boost in how they manage and govern their organizations so they can focus their work mostly on their mission and their programs.
Perfect. So yeah, so your clients are definitely facing a lot of crises themselves, and you're really kind of coming to their aid. Is there any immediate crises that your organization is facing, or is there with the closure due to COVID?
Yeah, we're kind of in the same boat that everyone else is. We are, dealing with it as both people and as an organization. So,
yeah,
a lot of the things that we've been hearing from other nonprofits, we're like, we totally get that.
Yeah, exactly.
We're dealing with that same thing every day, people having to manage their work schedule because they've all of a sudden become the teacher.
Yeah.
And, the different projects that we're about to launch, and maybe now's not the best time to do that. So trying to figure out new timelines, even if that program is still going to be viable when everything starts to reopen, those types of situations. So, we're dealing with all of that and also trying to help nonprofits sort of feel their way through that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so what's been mission critical for you to communicate about your brand and your nonprofit during this crisis?
So, we've tried to stay true to our mission, which is educating, connecting, and advocating for nonprofits. Right now, our advocacy work has sort of been the highlight of what we've been working on. We've been in contact with nonprofits just to see what their greatest needs are right now. We've continued to reach out to congressional leaders and legislative leaders. The governor's office actually reached out to us to see how they could get in contact with different nonprofits and stay in touch with those needs.
Yeah.
We've been trying to keep all those lines of conversation open and make sure that nonprofits are in the mix when it comes to all of the policy that they're putting through and all of the relief efforts that they're trying to initiate.
Great. So is there a piece of communication or collection of communications that you think has had a really good impact for your clients and your members?
So yeah, early on, right when everything was just starting to sort of hit the news about the COVID-19 and what might be coming down the pike, we put out a survey to nonprofit organizations all throughout North Carolina just to see what they were experiencing now, what they felt was going to be coming up, what they foresee or had already started to feel their needs were going to be. So that information really has informed those conversations that we've been having with legislators and leaders that way. That sort of dictated some of the work that we've done for our members. We put together a members forum. We've been calling it In This Together, where it's just sort of like,
that's cool.
We go online for 30 minutes once a week, and how are you feeling, what's happening, how's everybody doing, kind of thing, and share some of the resources that we've been using. And those resources also we've put those together on a web page as part of our website. So there's everything from human resources, all of the financial aid and the funding and everything that's coming up right now and available through a lot of the community foundations across the state, and other resources that just help, keep businesses and nonprofits continuing and sustaining things that help them through. There's quite a few, crisis management type tools and tips and stuff that able to share that people have found really useful. So
Cool. Great. Um, so what's your one piece of advice for communications people to kind of, and when they're experiencing a crisis like this, what's your biggest advice?
I would say just to be honest with what your organization is doing and asking folks how you can help support that, and also just to keep communicating. I mean, hearing what people are doing and sharing what you're doing is probably the best way to sort of like avoid those panic attacks.
Yeah,
And keep in touch with the, how we're all dealing with it and managing it, and hopefully figuring out creative ways just to keep working.
cool. Well, great. Well, thank you so much. Anything else you want to add about, kind of surviving and thriving in these times?
um we're all doing the best we can, so once we start to reopen, I'm sure we'll be very happy to see each other again face to face.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking time today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate that all you all do there. So thank you so much for putting out good communication for nonprofit folks like me.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's an amazing gift to be able to help the community grow in that way. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.